Hey, Rocky here from the Kansas National Guard Museum at the entrance of Forbes Field here in Topeka, Kansas, welcoming you to another Museum Minute. This week we got a special piece of equipment here. All of you Vietnam vets, when you think of Vietnam, what's the one iconic piece of equipment you think of? Or even people that lived through that period. This is something I'm going to show you today that everybody has seen, everybody that lived through that period is familiar with, and that is the UH-1 Huey helicopter, known as the Iroquois, but everybody called them Hueys. And we got a beautiful one out here at the museum. If you grew up during that time, or you watched TV on the nightly news about Vietnam, or you were in Vietnam or the service, you are familiar with this piece of equipment. Iconic, you think Vietnam, you think the Huey. And these things were everywhere. Whether we saw them in early pictures of landing in hot LZs in the Ao Drang Valley, various places like that, ferrying people back and forth. These were used not only in those ways, but also as a medical evac. They were called slicks, gunships. Every day I was talking to my friend Jim, who was in Vietnam, works out here on the museum maintenance crew, and he said many times they were in artillery, and one of their jobs was to, before these flew in with loads of men on board, they would lay down artillery on the landing zones, and as soon as they lifted artilleries, these would come swooping in and disgorge the guys all along the sides, and they'd jump out and go about their plan for the day. But you can see this one here. You look real close. Hey, that's me right there too. This one, particular one, has seats facing out. Many times, if they weren't carrying troops or they weren't going to be where they were under fire, they would be set up like this. But many times you would see a 50 caliber machine gunner hanging out both sides. Up here is the cockpit. Ours is still fully equipped. These pretty much. And these were known to be a little underpowered and usually overweight. So sometimes they'd have to make a running start at getting off the ground on those skids and go for a ways before they get enough lift to get off the ground. But this is an iconic piece of equipment, the Huey, made by Bell, and quite a piece of machinery, a lot of uses. If you remember, we even saw pictures later in the war when they were evacuating South Korea. They would fly people on these out to warships, carriers outside the country, and bring people out there, refugees. And we even saw some pictures, if you recall, an incident where they were shoving them off the end of the ocean to make room for more people on board. So what a great piece of equipment. What a great story. There's so many stories that goes with this piece of equipment. And hope you'll come out and see this one. And if you're a Vietnam vet, thank you for your service. That was a tough place to go, but we appreciate everything you did. And come out here and take a look at ours, and remember the good days. And we think out here at the National Guard Museum that this is the place where heroes live, and you're one of them.